I'm John, and welcome to the Way of Code. So, I want to announce something that I think I may have mentioned before, and that is I want to start a programming course for people. And this is an idea I've kind of had from experiences over the years of helping other people learn to code, and also seeing people that have become kind of overwhelmed by trying to learn how to code. Um, and I've noticed like a lot of the reason that this happens is because we don't teach coding the right way. And there's a variety of reasons for this. I don't think it is any kind of malicious intent on the part of people who teach this. Most people are trying to teach somebody or trying to do the best job they can with it. But it simply is that we have learned how to code the same way over the years. And almost everybody who's ever gone through a computer science degree program or boot camp or have even tried to sit down and learn it themselves, they've probably have had that gap between really understanding how to apply the tools and the tools themselves. You can kind of think of like the analogy as being someone who wants to learn how to repair cars. Uh, they're shown a toolbox, they're taught what every tool in there does, and then they're taken out to the shop, shown a car, and they're expected to fix it. Yeah, the approach just isn't going to work, and unfortunately, that's kind of the way most programming is taught. If you look around a little bit, you can see people giving their own ideas on how to learn how to code, how to get past the difficulties, and so on. It always seems to kind of boil down to like a couple of different things. Be persistent. Don't be afraid to fail, or go find somebody that knows what they're doing and learn from them. And both of those approaches are really kind of flawed. If you're not having success with something, but you keep doing it over and over, eventually you're going to give up on it. And the other one is, trying to find somebody who knows what they're doing and learn from them. A couple things wrong with that is, first of all, how are you going to be able to find that person? And second of all, is that person really going to know what they're doing? They may like have been doing it for years, but they're still doing coding wrong. And so I kind of want to put this course together and sort of address that. And what's going to be different about this course from every other course out there is simply going to be that as soon as you fire up your development environment, Visual Studio, this case, we'll eventually do Python and JavaScript later. But from the moment that you actually start working through the tutorials and examples, I'm going to be teaching you the same ways that a professional programmer would think and many of the tips and tricks and whatnot. And I want to do it that way simply because if you want to learn how to code, or if you're even just mildly interested in it, but also if you're somebody who's currently going through school right now, or even somebody who's working someplace where they have an opportunity to potentially step into a coding role, I want this to be something where people like you who are in that position can take these things, work through them, and be able to like go be productive the first day on a job, or even if you're doing like your own side project or something like that, to sit down and be successful with it. And the success and the things that you learn, again, are not things that you could always learn on the job, either from other coders, or there may be things that you learn on your own and stuff like that. But, why reinvent the wheel? Let's dive straight into this and really, kind of understand how to do this the right way right off the bat. Not just like working through some trivial examples, to do things you'll never do in the real world, but to actually start beginning to construct a project and a program that would actually be done on the job, or again, if you're doing something for yourself. A few things about this. One is this will be totally free. I want everybody who has any interest at all in coding to be able to explore it or develop their skills further. And this is because, like, we honestly need more good coders. It's, you talk to anybody who's an HR manager trying to fill jobs, can't do it. You can find people. The problem is that you can't find people who are comfortable in the role, have the experience, and have the ability. Sometimes you really can't find people that are like a more junior level. It's very difficult. Second thing is like our world is moving so much towards tech, and even the things which provide like the basic necessities of life, like agricultural equipment. It's all tech driven, and people may not necessarily want to be a developer. Somebody who's a professional programmer works all day at it, but they might also want just to understand how these things work. And I think to be able to democratize tech, to bring people a little bit more understanding of how things work, I think that's a good thing. It's really going to benefit our society and our culture in the long run because we won't have the divide between people who understand how this works and people that don't. Another thing is I'll probably be updating these videos frequently based on feedback from people and just based on things I see myself. I might want to put supplements out there to explain something a little bit better. And so in that case, it's really going to be important to subscribe to this channel. I'm hoping people get something out of the content I put out there for the regular way of code videos, but I also want people to be able to keep current on what's coming out. We still see trends all the time in computing. There's always new ways discovered to do things, and so subscribing and be able to be aware of when new content comes out or content is updated is going to be very crucial. Again, welcome to the Way of Code, and the programming course that will hopefully take you from being a complete novice in coding all the way up to being a person who's on the level of a seasoned professional. Thank you. Let's get started.